Quint's podcast.
Just 2 days after PDP chief Mehbooba Mufti's release from more than a year-long detention, all the mainstream parties of Kashmir joined their hands to form an alliance to work towards restoring the special status of Jammu and Kashmir. On 15th October, Mufti met NC leaders Farooq and Omar Abdullah at their residence along with CPIM, People's Conference, JKPM and ANC leaders and announced the People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration. At the meeting, while the signatories demanded that the special status of the erstwhile state be restored, they also decided to extend their dialogue to the people and all the stakeholders. For years, the political rivalry between the National Conference and the People's Democratic Party had been part and parcel of Kashmir's electoral politics. But now that mainstream parties have decided to put aside their differences to get back what they say was quote-unquote unconstitutionally snatched from the people on 5th August 2019 when the centre struck down Article 370, how is the next chapter of Jammu and Kashmir's politics looking like? In this podcast, you'll hear from Kashmir-based independent journalist Jahangir Ali and BJP spokesperson Arun Gupta. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you. And I'm your host, Shorbury. The original signatories of the People's Alliance had met at the Abdullah residence at Gupkar Road in Srinagar on 4th August 2019, just 1 day before Article 370 was abrogated. An all-party meeting since the BJP was triggered by the massive deployment of armed forces and the centre's decision to remove tourists from the then state of Jammu and Kashmir. In the meeting, the Kashmiri leaders had unanimously agreed to unify their efforts to protect and defend the identity, autonomy and special status of Jammu and Kashmir. And that was called the Gupkar Declaration. Just 1 day after the meeting in 2019, as we know, the central government revoked the special status under Article 370 and split Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories. Article 35A, which guaranteed specific rights to permanent residents of the former state, was also repealed. What followed was a complete lockdown in Kashmir for months with a communication blackout. Hundreds of politicians, including Mufti and other senior PDP leaders, NC leaders Farooq Abdullah and his son Omar, were all detained or arrested to stamp out any backlash over that decision. But with most political leaders, including the three former chief ministers of the state, now released from detention, Kashmiri leaders from various political parties once again held a meeting and signed the Gupkar 2 Declaration to renew their resolve to adhere to the 2019 declaration that was signed. All the top leaders of Kashmir were present in the recent meeting other than the Abdullahs and Mufti. People's Conference leader Sajjad Khani Lone, CPM leader Muhammad Yusuf Tarigami, Awani National Conference leader Muzaffar Shah all attended the meeting. While announcing the alliance formally at the press conference, Mr. Farooq Abdullah said that their battle is a constitutional one and that the contours of the alliance will be formalized in the coming days. Listen in.
We today met to congratulate and greet Mehbooba ji, who has been released from detention after 14 long months. It was a totally illegal, unjustified and unconstitutional internment of detention of Mehbooba ji. And already those people who are still in the prison, we have demanded that they must be released immediately without any further delay. Thirdly, we have now named this alliance as a formal name of this alliance will be People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration. Also, we have our battle is a constitutional battle. We want the government of India to return to the people of the state the rights they held before 5th of August 2019.
Along similar lines, Mehbooba Mufti, immediately after her release, had put up an audio message on Twitter vowing to take back what, quote, the Delhi Darbar has unconstitutionally and undemocratically snatched away from us, end quote. With rigorous restrictions on leaders, on movement, on communication, and on the internet, a formal political defense against the revoking of Kashmir's special status wasn't shaping up in the last 1 year. But that seems to have changed with Mufti's release. We spoke to Kashmir-based journalist Jahangir Ali, who says that connecting with her constituents will be an especially tough job for Mufti.
The battle to reconnect with the constituents in Kashmir is going to be especially tough for Mehbooba Mufti because she was the one who brought the BJP to Kashmir in 2014. You must remember that it was her father who stitched an alliance with the BJP. The alliance remained wobbly for the entire 3 years that it remained in office, after which she was unceremoniously thrown out. Now she has been facing these taunts since she was dethroned by the BJP, that it was her who got the BJP to do what it is now doing in Jammu and Kashmir. So it is going to be very tough for her, and I think she has no other option but to train guns at New Delhi, train them hard, and maybe also revert to her soft separatist stance, including bashing India and New Delhi for doing what it has done on August 5, 2019. And also the fact that so many changes have taken place, legal changes, constitutional changes in Jammu and Kashmir since the Article 370 was abrogated. So in a way, the blame of all this in one way or the other seems to be falling on Mehbooba, but she will go all guns out to deflect the blame and hold the right wing accountable for what it has done in Kashmir.
Triggered by the tremors of discussions around Article 370 and 35A, in an unprecedented move earlier in 2019, the PDP and the NC, who had been bitter political rivals for decades, had come to a friendly understanding ahead of the general elections. And that understanding seems to have manifested into the People's Alliance as well, with a common goal in mind. So with mainstream parties putting aside their differences and joining hands, what kind of political developments can we be expecting from Kashmir now? As the alliance members have already said, one of the objectives would be to hold dialogues with all the stakeholders, be it Kashmiri Pandits, civil society members, business community members and others. But what kind of challenges are they likely to face? Back to Jahangir here.
With the release of Mehbooba Mufti from custody, all the three prominent faces of mainstream in Jammu and Kashmir, that is Dr. Farooq Abdullah and his son Omar Abdullah, and now Mehbooba Mufti, are now out in the jail. And this will certainly open up more space for mainstream politics that was put into deep freeze post Article 370 abrogation. Now the battle for these mainstream parties is going to be tough. It's going to be long. They first will have to reach out to their constituents, try building the base that was eroded in the aftermath of Article 370 abrogation. And I think the only weapon they have in their hands is to attack New Delhi for betraying Kashmir, and which they will find useful to connect with the constituents. We must also remember there has been a spike in militancy-related incidents in Kashmir over the past 1 year or so. In this year alone, there have been more than 180 militants have been killed, and many political workers, mostly from the BJP, have come under target of these militant groups. So it is going to be a very difficult task for the mainstream parties to actually reach out to the people and connect with them again. Many people also fear that this alliance announced by Dr. Farooq Abdullah is not going to last long because of the inherent contradictions and opposite political ideologies of these parties.
Although the centre's action on this new development from Jammu and Kashmir is not clear yet, BJP spokesperson Arun Gupta says that nobody is buying these political parties' narratives anymore.
Let me go back to history if you are aware of the whole situation which has been happening for the last almost more than 30 years.
Yeah.
This PDP and NC, they have been fighting tooth and nail every elections, and one time NC comes in power, other time PDP comes in power, and probably they had the alliances, understanding that they'll keep on making fool of the system and they will keep on coming to power and then carry on with the family agenda of being in power. And this is how the Kashmiri politics has worked for the last 30 years. More than 30 years, this is how they have done. Now the situation is now, since they both are the agreed parties, sort of, because they're nobody is taking their narrative, nobody is buying their narrative. The people in Kashmir, they are comfortable. The people in Kashmir, they are enjoying the peace. They have started living like a peaceful, normal citizen of the country. And now these people whose shops have been shut, these people who have been have nothing to do, now they have started combining together and and started doing same things what they have been doing for so many years. So what I'm trying to say is, as far as these parties are concerned and their alliances are concerned, this has no taker, and people definitely are not there to take it. Because you see, ultimately, if you look at the whole situation of Kashmir, it's only a handful of people who have been creating problems.
If you like listening to this episode, please subscribe to the Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We're live on Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website and check out the podcast section. For any feedback, shoot an email to podcasts@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.